Did Oda just confirm this popular One Piece theory that's been going on in the community for a while? Spoilers for the latest chapter of One Piece. If you're not caught up, you better get out of here right now. Okay, with that out the way, we finally know what Roxy Zebek looks like now. And Oda just straight up told us, yeah, he's Blackbeard's father. No DNA test needed. You could just look at Blackbeard and you could tell that Roxy Zebek, you are the father. And these facial features are actually why I'm making today's video, especially when you look at Blackbeard's nose and eyes. They're absolutely identical to Rox's. The reason I'm bringing this up is because if you've been in the One Piece community for a while, you've probably heard this theory at least once. And that theory is Buggy, the genius clown himself, the son of Roxy Zebek? So I know what you're thinking. How can Buggy be the son of Rox if it just got confirmed that Blackbeard is the son of Rox? Well, the first thing is that the timelines still match up. Buggy's 39 years old in the story right now, and Rox died 38 years ago at God Valley, so it's still possible. Additionally, I want to focus on the facial features. So if you look at Buggy's eyes, he has the 3 eyelashes that Blackbeard and Rox also have. And then he'd kind of have the same smile that Rox does too. But then everyone's going to go to the nose. They're like, oh, that's Buggy's actual nose. That's not just like an aesthetic or anything like that. It could be his actual nose, but it is possible that he is covering his nose, because if he took that off, he'd probably look exactly like Rox. Maybe Roger gave it to him so that he wouldn't look like Rox and people would out him like that. Meanwhile, Whitebeard just let Blackbeard be when he was growing up. He didn't pay too much mind to it. He probably cared a lot less, as we see he did with Ace and Roger. And I'm definitely not theorizing that Buggy and Blackbeard are twins, actually, because their birthdays are different and they actually were born a year apart from each other. So Buggy's 39 and his birthday is August 8th. Meanwhile, Blackbeard is currently 40 and his birthday is August 3rd. So they're close, but unless the entire story is taking place between the 5 days between their birthdays, I'm just going to say that Blackbeard was born a year before Buggy. And this is actually important because Shanks and Buggy are actually the same age. Now, why would Shanks' birth be important to knowing if Buggy is the son of Rox? If you remember how the Roger pirates acquired Shanks, they found him in a chest while they were going through their spoils from God Valley. Now, I doubt the Roger pirates make a habit of picking up random babies that they find everywhere. You can imagine that they were like, yo, Shanks is clearly a celestial dragon. They probably even knew he was the son of Figarland Garling. That being said, if they came across Buggy as an infant around this time as well, and they recognized him as the child of Rox, you think they would just let him go? No, they clearly would raise him and nurture him. Buggy obviously was part of the Roger crew, and they loved him and accepted him just like Shanks. It wasn't like any favoritism or any animosity. Even Buggy remembers Roger fondly. It's not like he was like their lackey or anything like that. They treated him like an equal. So to me, it makes sense that it's very possible that somewhere after the time they find Shanks, they found Buggy right after that. Now, the $1,000,000 question is, if Blackbeard and Buggy are brothers, then why didn't they grow up together? And the simple answer is that Rox doesn't care about his kids, obviously. He probably was going to different brothels, and Buggy and Blackbeard definitely have different mothers. That being said, the reason why they were separated most likely goes back to what Roger said at God Valley when he first landed. He said, do you have any idea how I felt after this year? Most likely meaning that Rox beat Roger a year ago, and Roger's been holding on to this grudge. Now, that fight they probably had ended up causing Blackbeard and Rox to be separated, but even if they weren't, Rox wasn't staying around to raise his child in the first place. So if this theory turns out to be true, then the connection between these 4 emperors becomes absolutely crazy, because you have Buggy and Shanks, who are the adoptive sons of Roger, and then you have Roger's biological son being Ace, but you have to remember that Blackbeard and Ace were adopted by Whitebeard, which makes them adoptive brothers, and Ace is Luffy's adoptive brother, and Luffy's father figure is Shanks, so it makes them all connected in some sort of crazy way. It's absolutely insane when you think about it.